Okay. Elderly people, elderly people, elderly people. It's not that the young generation doesn't want to work. It's not that they're lazy. The young generation simply doesn't desire to live like you've been living. They don't want anyone telling them when to clock in, telling them when they can go to lunch, telling them when they go home, telling them how long they can be on vacation, telling them how much money they're going to make, all in exchange for one day, boss man walking in and saying this relationship is over. They're tired of that. And can you blame them? Can you blame them? And I'm 39 years old. So I'm right between the age groups of both the young generation and the older generation. I'm in the middle. So I understand both sides of it. Okay. But I think the older people has it wrong. And this is coming from somebody that's like, man, nobody wants to work for you for nickels. Spend all of their time paying bills, being on a treadmill day in and day out, and then all of a sudden you're dead. They're tired of doing that. And you could say that they're lazy. You could say that this generation is selfish. You can say anything you want to say. But most of you guys wish when you were their age, you wished that you lived in a world with this many opportunities. Now, you can say that I'm dreaming. You can say that I'm losing my mind. But I know because, listen, at the age of 27, I realized I didn't want to work for nobody either. It pained me to clock in and clock out day in and day out. It pained me to know that I was building somebody else's empire when I could have been building my own. That was very hard for me. And the young generation, they're thinking, they want to use their brains to make money. They want to be creative. They want to be free. They don't even really care about owning anything because in America, you really don't own anything anyway. You buy houses that you really don't own. Most of you never pay off the final note to your bank, which means that the bank actually owns the home. The bank owns your car because you're still making payments on that. Even if you buy land, which I love land, I buy land all the time. But let's face it, if I don't pay my property tax, the land goes back in the pile. So I never really own it. So in this world that we live in right now, I understand why so many of the young generation are deciding that they want to opt out of the matrix. They want to be free. They saw what you did with COVID-19 where you tried to force everybody to get jabs. They saw what you did when times got tough for the building, for your business, when you just walked into work one day and said, hey, this relationship is over. We got to let you guys go. They keep seeing you do that over and over again. If you don't want them to clock out and never clock in again, you got to stop firing them when times get hard. I'm sorry. Or you have to be honest with people and say to them, hey, we're just using you to build our company. We don't know how long you're going to be here, but we're going to pretend like we're family until that dreadful day comes that we have to fire you. These young people are smarter. They have access to more information than you guys did when you were their age. Most of the older people out there, the only information they got were information that was coming from their school, information that was coming from their neighborhood or their church. These younger people have access to more information. They're not as easy to fool into working hard for a company that is going to fire them one day. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to trick them into doing that. They're hip to it. Can you blame them? I don't blame them. I understand where these people are coming from because I started off like that as well. And I'm still like that. I still don't want to work for nobody. Not only do these people don't want to work for anybody, hell, they don't even want to talk to you. They don't even want to talk to anybody. And can you blame them for that? I don't blame them for that either. Young people, I think young people are misunderstood. And it's always the older generation that has a problem with the way things are currently going. But the older generation forgets that they also were the young generation at one point, that their older generation was demonizing. But they have amnesia, they forget, and they just demonize everybody that's younger than them that wants to live differently than they've lived. That's what's wrong with our country. We got too many, and I love older people. Don't get me wrong. Most of my friends are older people. But if you're going to influence a younger generation, you have to understand where the younger generation is coming from. Telling them that they're lazy is not going to get them to go to work. I'm sorry. You might as well hang that up. They'd rather live in a tent on the side of the road than to work for you. You're going to have to find another way to get people to the workplace. It's Robbie Cornelius encouraging you to master your mind and make money online. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want more information just like this.